someplace stop to ask yourself, what actually is art? What are its boundaries, and who decides what is deemed art? Over the decades, many people have tried to understand this. They have tried to grasp art and put it in a box to be understood. However, over the decades, many people have not been able to put art into a box to be completely understood. So if this is true, that art has blurred boundaries and can't be put in a box to be understood, then how so can we deem one person to be an artist and another not an artist? This concept is no exception for the art classroom. The truth is that every single student to walk into the art classroom is talented despite levels of artistic interest or experience, and therefore every student belongs in the art classroom. If you look up the definition of art according to Merriam-Webster, it says this: something that is created with imagination, skill, that is beautiful and expresses important ideas or feelings. There are 4 key parts to this definition: imagination, skill, beauty, and expression. However, all too often, the main focus of the art classroom is skill. And if the skill isn't up to a certain standard, then the art is not deemed beautiful. So what does this mean for the students whose skill isn't up to that standard? What does this mean for the students who are taking the art classes just for a credit? Does this mean that they can't be as successful as a student who has a high skill? Remember the other 2 parts of the art definition? What about the imagination? What about the expression? Are these also not as equal to beauty as skill? My hope is that by opening our minds and looking into the art boxes that we have created ourselves, we can redefine art and empower student belonging and talent in the art classroom. So first, let's start by taking art out of the box. Why do we want to take art out of the box if everyone has tried for so long to put art into this box? Well, it's important for us as educators to look into our boxes of what we think art is. What do you personally consider to be beautiful art? So now what do you expect for your students to produce? What kind of student products are going to make you say that is great art? So I want to take a second to think back on a student art project or maybe an art project you did yourself. Got it? Why did you choose that project? Was it because it had high skill? Was it realistic? Was it really creative or imaginative? Did it have a lot of expression? Hopefully, by asking ourselves these kind of questions, we can open up our boxes and reevaluate our expectations for our students to produce. It's also very important that we ask our students these same kind of questions so that they can look into what they think art is. What are students' expectations for their class? What are their expectations for themselves? What are their expectations for art in general? Do they think that they're capable of art? Some students may have never been informed that art isn't just realism. And some students are all bringing in different kinds of boxes. Some students have boxes where they have a great idea of what art is and what an artist is and know where they're at on that spectrum of ideas. And other students are coming in having empty boxes and no clue what they think about art. It's important for us to know where students are on the spectrum of what they think about art and what is in their boxes so that we can best guide them to where we want to go as a class. By allowing this kind of self-reflection in the art classroom, this is leveling the playing field. By taking art out of the box, this opens up a fresh perspective for students and a fresh start in the art classroom. This can change how students see themselves and see their place in the art classroom. If students are able to enter in as confident and capable and believing themselves to be an artist, they're going to be more confident in what they produce. Therefore, they're going to put more imagination and creativity into what they're doing, and they'll be confident to take risks. This in turn also pushes students to learn technical skill so that they can best relay their imagination, their creativity, and their expression in their artworks. But they will know that their skill and their range of technical skill does not make them just successful or not successful. These things ultimately benefit the individual student in the art room atmosphere. With boxes open and exposed, fresh new perspectives, and risk-taking artists, the art room is able to be a free and non-threatening space for students. I remember this was the kind of art classrooms that I had in high school. Students who weren't even enrolled in art classes would come into our classrooms, graduated students would come back and visit, and I never noticed these kinds of things going on in my math classes or any of my other classes. And I strongly believe that this was because of the safe, non-threatening environment of my art classrooms. Something that we need to keep in mind is that the art classroom might be the only place in the school that some students can come in, exhale, relax, express themselves, and feel safe. We also should remember that maybe the art classroom is the only place ever that students are able to feel this way. Students are coming from all kinds of backgrounds, all kinds of home lives, and lots of things going on. So we want to create a safe place where they feel comfortable to confront real-life issues and express what's going on in their lives, which ultimately can result in the beautiful, imaginative, and creative expression of their feelings in their artwork. When students feel like they're safe to be themselves, safe to share their thoughts, and express real-life issues, they will succeed and thrive in their environment. Now the art being made in the classroom has a greater sense of artistic community and meaning, and students belong to a safe place. Now the art being made reaches that Merriam-Webster definition of art, something that is created with imagination, skill, that is beautiful and expresses that expresses important feelings or ideas. So I want to leave you with a question. Will every single student to walk into your classroom be an artist and have a place in your classroom based on what's inside your art box? Thank you.